Well, hello, fellow people, humans, YouTubers over Discords or whatever I'm doing this for. So this is the current version of this thing that I'm calling AmaMod VR. So I'm just gonna show you what I've got going here, and I just should disable this. Okay, so what is this? This is the current way I'm using to, I guess, distribute my models or like let people like play with my models on Patreon. And this is the VR version of that, which is the more fun version. And here I got four characters, two of which are originals for me, Boa and Ada. And there's not a lot going on here, but you have some little options and sliders you can play with. So my plan is to import the characters that my patrons choose in my polls every month. So now this time it was Hexmaniac from Pokemon, and then it was Gura. This is, since she's so popular and she recently retired. Hello, Gura. She's so tiny. And well, here's Ada in her bunny outfit. She's just laying down, and Boa. Hello, Boa. So yeah, as you can see, you have a bunch of physics things configured, and you can just grab the characters and move them around, and they react with physics. And you also can, play a little with some settings here. Each character has a menu. You can make them not react to you, or I guess they do react, but not so much. So this is the animation that I gave them playing. But then if you move this down, they become a little more wobbly until you just completely turn them into ragdolls. And then you can grab them and do some stupid things with them. So I can make with a ragdoll too. And then I got two ragdolls. He's gonna return her to how she was. And Boa too. And yeah, so no, I try to solve here a bit of a problem that I have as a 3D artist, which is I can create the 3D models, no, and they're fun to look at and play with inside Blender, but regular people who are not familiar with Blender, no, they have no way to receive the characters, to interact with them, to appreciate them. So what can I do? Then I just give them renders, maybe a couple animations, but it, an image won't make a 3D model justice, right? Because the the appeal of a 3D model is that you can do stuff with them. You can look at them from every angle. That's why I thought it'd be interesting to explore the idea of creating, an easier way for people to see my models. So this is what AmaMod VR is trying to solve. And I'm gonna do one fan art character per month here. And I also want to integrate this with everything else that I'm doing. So I'm creating a game called Desktop Pets, where I let people create their own characters and then have them walk in their desktops. But the character creator there is pretty limited. So I also thought I should work on a better character creator, and I want to integrate this project with that as well. So I'm doing a bunch of things all related to characters. But yeah, this is again a showcase, right? You can also toggle a bunch of models here. For example, I can remove her hairband and then activate the other hairband. And you can then know that you can just toggle everything. And I like this one a lot. I like the material I made. That's a custom shader for the tights. But this model was an experiment where I thought, what if I first make the pose and then make a special rig for that pose? Because if you're a 3D artist, you know that there are certain poses that are really, really, really difficult to deform correctly. And this was one such pose. And she's like hard baked into this position. So I can't have her standing normally. And she's kind of broken. But she's still fun because her face is a little goofy. And there she is. If I enable collisions, no wait, I disabled collisions. I enable collisions and angular limits. Then the ragdoll is a little better. And yeah, what are you doing? You have a booger or something? It's so it's incredible being able to watch your own characters in the eye like this. It's so weird. And I guess for people, this is also interesting because a lot of you are used to seeing my characters in Instagram as just images or videos, but then being able to just stand in front of them, look them in the eye, and just give them a whack. It's very interesting. So yeah, this is AmaMod VR. This is a little. Oh, she's broken. What are you doing? Gonna return her to her natural state. And this animation is made for another perspective. So I made this before I thought of making this VR. So in the normal thing, the camera was here and she was looking at the camera and it looked so much better. But for VR, this is a little bit awkward to look at. But still fun. And yeah, this is my little sandbox experience that I make for my patrons. And I'm very surprised, but there was so many people interested in this. Like when I asked people about VR in my Patreon, like I was expecting like at most 10 people to be interested or to have the actual VR headsets. But turns out way more people than I thought have VR headsets. So I'm gonna be working on this more. And I think it's very fun. It's very interesting. Why are you looking at me like that? Stop looking at me with that dumb face of yours. I'm gonna make you more wobbly. Why are you looking at me like that? It's really like my brain gets confused seeing this thing looking at me. You're not real. You're fake. You understand what I'm saying? No, you don't because your head is empty. You're nothing. Let me grab her by the hand and yeah, I gotta tweak the hair physics too. So here I'm using a cheap type of physics for the hair, which isn't really good. But I do it because I also like to build this as a WebGL app. But I think I'm gonna forgo of that because I don't like this solution for the hair physics. What do you think? Nothing because you're dumb. You're brainless. Stop looking at me. All right, that's it. Bye bye.